We are live, and I forgot to put the backlights on.
Oh, we're in the dark. Ooh, here we go.
Special lights for this special show with this special lady. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Do you want to do a quick chat check, or you want to show people? We did get a little bit of merchandise in the mail. We couldn't help ourselves. It's hard when you're home alone, especially
home alone.
Stuck home. I have to work, but she gets paid. Still getting paid as being a substitute teacher, even though she's not working.
Yeah.
So you get to shop a little bit. So you want to let everyone know what you got.
We get some pins, but those are for a different time.
Yep. But sure.
We got this little guy. Ready?
So Spaceship Mickey.
He's
thinking
so
from
cute.
what? Space Mountain?
I'm not sure, but he's super cute.
Mission Space?
I don't know. Mission Space. He's Space Mickey. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this is what we got. Ooh, he's so cute.
Yeah. All right. Why don't we go into the chats? Welcome everybody in. I'll let you.
All right. Well, hello, Eric Newman. You are first. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for being first.
This Dream. Hi, guys. We've seen you guys down at Disney Springs. I'm like, what is it?
Yeah, Disney Springs.
Yeah.
I think we saw you on.
With Mouse Talk.
I saw you on Mouse Talk. I think I've seen him somewhere else.
Resort TV One, maybe?
Yeah, I know we were watching a bunch of them.
Or Corey's. I don't know. We saw it.
Yeah.
Hi, Movie Mania Nick. And Michelle Laquetta. Nice to see you.
And she says, ooh, I love him.
Yeah, he's so cute. Hi, Melissa. And hi, Jane and Travels. Welcome in. See, I got my Mickey.
Yeah. So we changed the topic kind of last minute. I know originally we were going to talk about having you guys help us plan dinner reservations for our upcoming Christmas trip. We already have things settled for August, but we figured we want to do something different. So we wanted to try to get input from you guys. We're actually going to do that show, I think, next week.
Yeah. Because there's so many things coming out today. It's like,
yeah,
we're gonna talk about it.
Meredith, I was on a work call, and Meredith's over here like waving me down while I'm on like a Zoom conference call with my boss, and she's like waving at me. She's like trying to whisper dates to me or whatever. It was like very cryptic to me.
Hi, Charlie and Stacy. Welcome in. And Christy's going. Hi, Christy. Welcome in.
Yeah. So I think we wanted to go over some news that came out today and what it means for people who have trips. Does it change your mind? I know for me, it helps to see that they're opening sooner because we get to see a glimpse of what's upcoming. We can just see how safe it's going to be for folks.
Right.
I mean, for us, it does a lot.
Hi,
right?
Jonathan John. Welcome in.
So Meredith made me put something very special together to commemorate this. So let me.
Good evening. I'm Ron
Dufily,
and this is what's happening in your world tonight.
Yeah, she just got.
I thought you did their breaking news thing.
Good evening. I'm Ron
Dufily,
and this is what's happening in your world tonight.
Yep. So this is some breaking news, I guess you would call it, because it did come out late this afternoon. I mean, I don't know. I've been working.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. This afternoon, I was studying supposed to be studying my class. But.
So it seems like a lot of various parks and I don't know what you call these, like mini
different little
entertainment areas.
Yeah.
Have announced potential dates for when they want to open. So I guess a lot of these places went in front of the Orange County Task Force today to propose their plans for opening up. And a lot of these places did include potential opening dates. And I think that's what we want to talk about. And we're going to save Universal for last because there's some things with that I read that we should just go over.
Right.
All right.
So you want me to read the list of what I have that I saw on the list? These are their proposed opening dates that they want to open. That's what they gave the council. So the Island H2O Water Park in Kissimmee, that's at the Margarita Resort. That wants to open this Saturday. Fun Spot, May 22nd. Gatorland, May 23rd. Icon Park, I don't know what that is. Orlando, June 3rd. iDrive Thrill Park, May 22nd. K1 Speed, Orlando, May 22nd. Orlando Slingshot, May 22nd.
Oh, you're rushing to that, aren't you?
Yeah. No way. And this is for
Walt, Melissa, maybe you guys could try Slingshot,
No,
Starflyer.
Starflyer, May 22nd. There you go, Walt and Melissa. And Wonderworks, May 29th. So.
And did you have Legoland?
Legoland is opening on June 1st. So that's, I don't know if that's proposed or I think that was official.
Yeah. So Walt says Icon Park is the Orlando Eye area.
That was,
so that's with the big. So you
with
know
the big eye thing
with Madame Tussauds and the Sea Life Aquarium.
Yep.
So Charlie's asking, what about Walt Disney World? So from what I gathered from looking around, both SeaWorld and Walt Disney World did not get in front of the council. They didn't do their presentation today.
Ran out of time.
Either ran out of time. Well, I think I heard yesterday that they were not going to get in front of the task force today. I don't know if that means they weren't ready with an official date or what's going on. But I suspect that it's either tomorrow or shortly next week. And then we also know that reservations were any reservation from June that started on June 13th or before has been canceled.
Right. People received those emails.
So they're definitely opening up after Universal. Part of me wonders if they're just gonna
see how it goes with that.
Yeah, maybe Universal says we'll do the test run for you guys, because I'm sure they're all talking together to try to figure out what works best for them.
And Universal only has 2 parks, and then they're not even counting the water park because they're probably not going.
Yeah, much easier for them.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have as many resorts.
Right.
They don't have the only transportation Universal has is the buses.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Walt Disney World has a lot more to think about.
Yep.
So welcome in, Rachel. Hello, Rachel. Thank you for coming in.
And I see Jeffrey Resendez.
Thank you for coming in. So, I didn't have time to kind of put this together, but we'll save this for after.
Yeah.
So we also, after we talk about this, we want to spend a little time about, Meredith found a site that talked about potential projects that all the theme parks were working on and potential dates, delay dates or things that have been canceled. So I don't know how official it is, but I think it's a good talking point because we have been thinking about, especially some of the stuff at Walt Disney World. Mm-hmm. Are they going to continue some of it? Are they going to cancel it as it delayed and go on? So this I dream goes guinea pig. So I figured, make Universal the guinea pig. And that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Right? It gives Walt Disney World a little more time. Universal can...
they can see how it goes with them and see how it goes.
All right. So from here, it says Universal will open June 1st to 2nd for team member previews only. So that be all cast members or team members, I guess they call them.
Yeah, team members. They'll
be able to enjoy the park. They'll practice social distancing. Universal execs, managers can see how well it works with the team members. Yeah. Then they go invitation only testing from June 3rd to 4th. I'm thinking this could be media people, maybe local EP holders. We'll be able to go try that out. That's what would make sense to me. If you're going to have an invitation, that's how it would be.
So another dry run.
And Jeffrey, yes, I did have a great birthday. Thank you. And I hope you enjoyed your birthday as well. I had a lot of fun. And so the proposed date for everyone for Universal is June 5th. That's when they propose to open up to the public. I like that. That gives us 2 solid months to see how things go, have them work out the kinks, because there are some rules here.
Yeah.
One thing that Meredith and I are hoping for, so we've been experimenting wearing masks while we go out for our walks.
Granted, it was 65.
So we've been doing it for the last 3 days, using different types of masks. I will say ones with filters are definitely a no-go for Disney World. We had one on in 60 degrees, and I walked pretty fast, and those were just not good for breathing. I can't imagine in the hot, humid air. I'm going for more of a cotton one, You're going for those fabric ones that you usually get from Etsy. And we're having mixed results there. Today was around 75. And I'll tell you, I mean, we were walking for about a half hour. Our walk pace is around 15 to 16 minute mile pace.
Yeah.
And I tell you, after a half hour, I mean, I had the all cotton one, and I could already feel it getting sweaty. Granted, maybe I'm not going to be walking as fast, but makes me
But it's going to be 20 degrees hotter.
Yeah. So our hope is that what the theme parks do is, if you're outside, you don't need to wear a mask as long as you can practice social distancing. So if it's a big crowd, okay, then you're gonna have to wear your mask. But if they're gonna limit the crowd size at the theme parks, and you're outside, maybe you don't need to wear the mask. It's gonna be discretionary. Because I also think outside, I think it is harder to catch the virus.
Right.
And just require you to wear the mask indoors or when you're about to go on the rides. And to me, that I can deal with that. I can understand circulated air possibly being an issue.
Yeah.
And I think that would make people more comfortable. That's how we when we go out. If we're outside, I'm not wearing a mask.
Right.
I mean, our state's kind of said it's mandatory, but if you're outside and you can keep social distancing, I mean, if I walk by somebody and we're this close, I'm just walking by them. I'm not going to put a mask on just for that.
Right.
But
and usually when we don't wear the mask on the walk, we walk by someone, we move over 6 feet. And
and Walt was there. I mean, and it wasn't even the hottest that Florida gets.
Yeah.
Right? I think, I don't remember what Walt said, but it was probably like 85, 90. And he goes, masks are going to be an obstacle for many. When it's really warm, it does make it hard to breathe. And it does. Yeah. And that's why I've tried it. I'm trying to test the mask running. I'm just trying, because I can't get the hot, humid air here.
The running. It doesn't work with the run. I was like, I was like, he's like, you're going to die. I'm like, yes.
And Charlie goes, he holds his breath as he passes people. Yeah.
We're just hoping that. But at Disney Springs, we saw on Twitter, people were shaming people that weren't wearing the mask. People were fake drinking, so they didn't have to wear the mask. Other people are wearing. I mean, that's just too much, And everyone just worry about yourself.
I look at it as, if somebody's not wearing a mask, even I know if it's the rule.
Yeah.
If I don't have to walk near them.
Right. Just stay away from them.
I can just walk around, wait for them to. I'm just going to worry about us.
Yeah, but to shame someone and put their picture on Twitter is ridiculous. And I think one family was just sitting you down, not near anyone, and they probably took off their mask for a breather. They weren't near anyone. Why are you taking their picture and putting it on Twitter because they don't have a mask on? That's ridiculous. I mean, it's getting out of control.
Yeah.
No one likes the mask. We know this. No one likes to wear it.
All right, so let's move on from that.
All right.
So here's the policies that Universal submitted to the task force. So there's going to be increased signage inside the parks. So I'm assuming this is going to be much like what they already have at City Walk.
Yep.
Much like what Disney has at Disney Springs. Mm-hmm. I think that makes sense. Before you move on, so Walt goes, I was sweating through the mask, which ultimately isn't good because then it defeats the whole purpose of the mask. It saturates the mask, which doesn't help the purpose of the mask. I agree. I mean, Meredith and I have been talking. I mean, we're buying extra masks. We're trying to find the right one that could potentially work. But we also know we're going to need multiple ones because at the end of the day, even if I can get through a day with one mask, we're going to have to wash it.
Yeah.
And so we're going to need backup ones. I mean, this is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Hello, Danny from the Griswold Family Vacate. Thank you for coming in. So another precaution, which again, they are both Disney Springs and City Walk's doing, is guest temperature testing using handheld thermometers.
Yep.
Again, I just ordered a handheld thermometer. Again, I'm going to be ultra paranoid. Yeah. If it's hot out, I just want to make sure we're not overheating by that. I don't think so, but I read other things that say that it could happen, and it's good for us to have anyway. All right.
Yeah, and he said that they do have the signage and they're doing a good job. So let's hope that continues. And hope that people are respectful to the team members and cast members.
And you know what? You're always going to have the people that just don't. And honestly, I can't worry about those people.
Right. But they have to understand Disney is a private company.
Again,
So, yeah.
You can't worry about what other people are doing.
I know.
All right. And Charlie, that's what we were thinking. Meredith was thinking we'll wash it and maybe even we're staying at the Poly, so hopefully we have a balcony. We can just throw it on the balcony and it'll dry overnight. Yeah. All right. So some other policy changes. So valet parking will not be available. Mandatory mask usage for all guests and staff. Yeah. I think those are things we all knew. Mm-hmm. New team member position that answers guest questions about new policies and to sanitize the parks. So I'm sure I didn't see it too much in the videos at CityWalk, or maybe I just forgot. Yeah. But at least I know at Disney they had all those portable wash stations where you can wash your hands, and I think they had the Perel stations. Yeah. And I'm sure CityWalk did, and I just didn't see it, or I just forgot about that. Yeah. So I'm assuming they're going to have this stuff at every attraction. Yeah. Which is fine. And Jonathan goes, use a disposable coffee filters inside the mask. Yep. Yes, I bought some 2.5, the 5-layer ones. Yeah. Those I couldn't breathe in. I felt like when we had the coffee filters, those seemed like you could.
Yeah, so we'll probably do that.
Yeah. Hand sanitizer stations throughout the park. Reduce capacities in the parks and on attractions. So this one's a little vague. They don't say what the reduced capacity is going to be. I'm interested in this one. Just who gets first preference? Like what's going to be the order that you let people in? When we go to Universal, we're going to be staying at Universal property. I'm going to assume that resort guests will get first pass. Yeah. But then it gets tricky from there. How do you do off-site guests and the annual pass holders? Right. And what's the capacity amount there? The other thing I'd like to know is what are they doing with the haunted Halloween nights that they do there?
The horror, whatever it is. Horror haunted, whatever it's called.
Yeah, haunted horror Halloween nights. Yeah. Each. Yeah. So I'm sure we'll get more info on that. This one's going to be interesting. Virtual queuing for a majority of attractions. I think we all anticipated this coming. Yep. This could be a good thing, potentially. This could be something that, if it is done well,
could be the future.
Be the future, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm okay with it as long as it goes well. But it's probably a good way to keep the social distance intact. Yeah. It might mean that you're not in the park for as long, potentially. Yeah. Elimination of the single rider line. Again, I agree. It's part of social distancing. You do not want people waiting in there. Mm-hmm. So Walt goes, the policy changes are pretty basic, nothing earth-shattering or life-altering from what I've seen. Extra cleaning, extra spacing, and more signage. Yep, that's exactly what. Nothing here surprised me at all, Walt. I totally agree with you. And he also says we might see some sort of reservation system for those not staying on property, maybe. Yeah, I can see that, and I'm sure Disney's going to do something similar. So that's why it's nice to see what's going on here. Yep. And it goes, if people have problems, management should kick them out. Yeah, I agree. I'm sure that's a delicate. The management's in a delicate position because it's still trying to bring in some revenue to. Right. Not. They're still going to lose money, I believe, opening up at a decreased attendance. Right. If it's 50%, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're going to lose money.
They're going to lose money
because they got to pay their employees now.
It's a balance, and I think it's a balance and act. I think if you see people doing it deliberately and they're doing it over and over again, sure. But I feel for them. I think they're in a tough position. Just to continue on here, they're gonna hand out 3D glasses to individuals. I think they almost do that now anyway. Yeah. To me, that's I don't remember ever.
And I know they wash them. So.
Removal of water effects on attractions. This one I'm not clear about. Does this mean that rides like the River Adventure Jurassic Park ride, Dudley Do Right,
those be closed?
The Popeyes river raft ride there. Are those does that mean that those will be closed? Because you can't remove them. You can't remove those effects from there,
right.
or because I just don't remember any of the rides at any of the Universal parks having water effects.
Yeah,
Shrek
and Hong Kong food. King Kong has water when they have those bugs are spraying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mobile ordering of food and contactless payments. Again, yep. Temporary menus for sit-down restaurants. Yep. Interactive play areas will be closed. So this means stuff like the Curious George area will definitely be closed. So I anticipate a lot of that area may be closed to the little ones, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I thought I saw something here about.
Sorry, I couldn't find a lot of.
Thank you, Siri.
You said.
And I thought there was something on here about pictures with characters that you could do that. That they would still have that, but the characters would be at a distance. So that's that with Universal. I think it's exciting just to get something going here.
Yeah, I think so.
Eric goes, they're going to raise the price. I'm not sure they're going to do that. I'd be surprised if they do, because it's kind of a suboptimum package. What am I saying?
Temporary kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You're not getting the same bang for your buck, is what I'm trying to get at.
Right.
There's some inconvenience now, potentially. So what do you guys think? So you guys think this is good news? What do you? I know Stacy and Charlie are going down around just before us.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys are, probably happy about this to see how things go ahead of time, because that's kind of where we are.
Right.
And I think I know City Walk looked great from the 2 days worth of streams that I've seen. So, and Disney Springs still looks good. Mm-hmm. Although today I think I read that there wasn't as many people there as the day before. And again, I don't know how true. We don't live there.
Well, because you can't barbecue hot dogs on the table, so I don't know if you guys saw that. These people were barbecuing or had a hibachi on a table, were cooking hot dogs at Disney Springs. Okay, weird.
And what bugs me is they kicked them out right when the hot dogs are done. You could have at least let them finish eating the hot dogs. They had all the hungry kids at the table. Right?
Yeah.
So Charlie goes, we think if it goes well, they will be to 70% capacity or more by mid-August. I agree, and I think last year when we were there, the parks didn't seem as as crazy as like July. They seem so. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not too worried yet. Yeah. I don't think I'm actually too worried at all. All right, so this is your thing, and you didn't put the pages in order.
Oh, is that supposed to?
Yes.
Sorry.
All right, so I think we're going to move on. So Meredith found this website, Theme Park Tourist, and I know I've heard of them. I don't know how reliable they are. I mean, I always say, if it didn't come out of the mouths of the theme park execs or their marketing people, I take it with a grain of salt. But I thought it would be great to see, just to talk about it.
Yeah.
See how much of this we
Yeah.
think is true, or is going to be true. So you got.
Hi, June and Rachel. Welcome in. Happy birthday, June. Everyone say happy birthday to June.
Yep. I think today is June's birthday. And he just had a stream with the.
Yeah.
Right.
They were eating
Celebrating.
crab legs and cake, and it looked good.
So everybody should say happy birthday to June in the chat. All right. So we're just going to go to talk about projects that seem like they're either delayed, slimmed down, or canceled. And what do we think?
Right. I
So
need that.
no, the thing's right there.
Okay.
So
Circus De Soleil.
So the first thing is the Circus de Soleil Drawn to Life, which is at Disney Springs.
Right.
and they're predicting. I guess this was supposed to open March 20th. So they have on here delayed, possibly canceled.
Yep.
And I'm wondering why. What you guys think? Possibly canceled seems surprising to me because I know that they did some soft previews to media people on that show. So I feel like it was ready to go.
But maybe canceled until this is over because it's in a theater.
True.
You know.
So that's. So I think they're speculating on that part. I don't.
These are all speculations anyway. We just.
Well, I'm taking them as speculations,
right.
But I think it'd be good. We can still talk about it. I can't imagine that. I just imagine that one's delayed possibly until this whole
thing is over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Monarch Moments. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for coming in.
So this one's this is Universal, right? Secret Life of Pets Off Leash.
Off Leash. Yeah. So this is kind of next time.
Yeah, I know. The printed.
So what do you guys think that I didn't even hear what this is. Do you know what this is?
No.
I think this one's probably on the cancel list. What do you guys think?
Is that it?
Oh, this is from Hollywood Studios, Hollywood.
Oh,
so let's not even talk about that.
Yeah, so that's Hollywood. That's why we didn't hear about it.
All right, let's just stick to Florida. You
all right.
Print it out too much.
What's that one? Toki.
Nope, Spaceship Earth. Look at the bottom.
Okay. Oh,
Spaceship. So what do you guys think about the Spaceship Earth reimagining? They kind of have that. They have that here that the refurbishment was supposed to start May 26th, which is still time to start that.
Yeah, yeah.
They could start that.
Yeah.
But they have that as being canceled. So, what do you guys think? Tell us in the chat. Do you think Disney's really going to cancel the reimagining of this? And what? And I know this is a beloved ride by a lot of Disney people.
Yeah.
Do you want them to cancel this? Would you be disappointed if they canceled it, or you celebrate? Are you going to have a celebration dance if you find out that it's been canceled? What do you guys think? What do you think?
Well, I think it's probably canceled for now because they probably have to finish the projects they started. They didn't start this yet. So finish what they started because they're losing money. So maybe they will do it eventually, but not right now. They canceled it for now until the other project's finished and everything returns back to normal and they're getting more money in. I think that's what I think.
But do you want to see the refurb?
I like it. I think maybe just add a few things. You know what I mean? Keep it the way it is, but maybe finish it. Like the end needs a little finishing.
Honestly, I was really excited about the refurb. I think I want to see something brand new. I think I think it was Walt who talked about this. Yeah. And my rating was a little lower than I would want for this. And it all comes down to the ending. Yeah. Once you turn backwards and you're going backwards and you go through the earth, to me that's a waste of a few minutes.
Yeah.
I want that all redone and redone right. And that's just how I feel.
Yeah, but the rest of it is fine.
Yeah. So Melissa's torn, and I can see that. I mean, Spaceship Earth is one of those rides people love, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's a great attraction. However, I have seen some other time should talk about Judi Dench doing it versus was the first one that did the voiceover? Because we have that on video. I found it.
Jeremy Irons, was it?
I don't know.
There was another guy.
So that's topic for another day.
Yeah.
Nerd Herders. I would rather they wait to rehab Spaceship Earth so we can see it again. Delay it till September. And I think if they delay it, it's going to be until the business comes right back. Yeah. Walt says, I think they could start it now, but do they have the budget for it? I think since it hasn't started, they probably shouldn't. I hope it stays the same. No changes, please. Yeah, and I can understand that. I mean, I'm not going to cry if they don't change it. I would just prefer if they did.
Yes, it was Jeremy Irons.
Jonathan goes, if they canceled, then they have the old rides still, right?
So,
and they would.
Yeah, so they could still run it, so, I mean, I think they just were updating it, right?
Yep.
So.
And look at that. You were right. Jeremy Irons.
I remember something. Not much, but I remember the silliest things.
Yes. And before we move on to the next one, have people get out at the top and have a giant spiral slide for a ride back down. Oh, see, that would be cool. That'd be like, my office at one time was looking to put a spiral slide to go from the 3rd floor to the 1st floor.
Yeah.
And they were getting ready to put that in.
Yeah.
But then they found out how much the insurance cost was going to be, and that got nixed.
Oh,
but that,
man.
That would have been fun.
Yeah.
All right. Next is Spaceship 220.
Space.
Oh, Spaceship. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
You keep saying spaceship.
The Space 220 restaurant. So I'm kind of sad that this one's not going to be open, because we actually, for our August trip, I had a slot opened to make reservations to eat here.
Yeah.
We have since. I knew this was coming. Tell people where we're eating instead.
La Celia.
Yes. So we haven't been there in a long time, so we're gonna try to go back there, try it all out, get some cheddar cheese soup and all the other stuff. So Space 220 restaurant. So that was supposed to open up in the spring. That was the rumor. It was going to open up in the spring. I know it's already been built. I think they had the head chef, a new head chef that was working on the menu, and I believe they already hired all the staff. Now they're saying the status is to be determined, which makes sense. When do you guys think they will open up?
Because the way you're supposed to get in that elevator and stuff, I think you can't socially distance in that. And then it's going to be inside restaurant, so it's probably what they have to wait.
Yeah.
Or figure out a way to do it that you can spread out.
My feelings are, again, I think this is, as long as they're going to have to run it at reduced capacity, from a business point of view, I think they will not open this up until they have at least 100% capacity.
Yeah.
Because to me, it doesn't make sense to be paying all these extra employees for a restaurant that hasn't been opened yet. I mean, they can save money right now by just not opening this or delaying the start of this. And I know that it's not good for the people that were hired to work there. I mean, hopefully maybe Disney can find other places for them to work, but I mean, I'm just looking at it from the business point of view. Yeah. Why would they open it up? If things pass and they can get 100% capacity to the parks, makes sense.
Yeah. Because we know restaurants up here, they have to do diminished capacity, and they said they're not making any money. They're just doing it for people to come back out and do things again.
Yes.
But they're losing money.
So Michelle the Quilter says, I agree. They must have lost a lot of money and are behind schedule now. Yeah, no doubt. And I don't blame them. I mean, a lot of us thought they could continue the construction, but from Disney's point of view, they were bleeding a lot of money.
Yeah.
More than Universal, because at least I think Universal had other streams of money coming in from NBC and Comcast.
Yeah.
Whereas Disney's got entertainment, so that's movies and theme parks mostly. I mean, they got ESPN and ABC, but those are also weren't in the greatest shape either. So I can't fault them for that. Melissa goes yum to changes.
The Celia, yeah.
Yeah. So Eric goes, why open up Epcot for the rest of 2020? I agree. Unless by the end of the year, there's a vaccine coming, then maybe I can see them start bringing that back up in maybe early 2021.
Yeah. I'm sure like Walt says, it's going to be a huge hit. We know that, but if they can't fit the people in there, I mean, they're going to lose money. It's.
Yeah. You want to read this one?
Oh, yeah. There's a huge
So to Jonathan.
Huge. I can't say 4 to 5 story slide. Chorus entertainment office in Toronto makes sense for kids animation studio, but only workers and their families can use it.
Yeah, see, that's awesome.
That's fun.
I think Google has something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's where our company originally got the idea. Because we have video games where I work.
They got a beer cart that comes around on Fridays. Right?
Yep, skee ball. I mean, but that's a typical tech company, right?
Yeah, but you're not going back for a long time.
Yeah, my office is actually closed to at least September 28th, and I have the sense that we may actually be working remotely permanently. Mm. Hey, saves on my commute.
Yeah, mileage on the car.
So Walt goes Space 220 will open end of the year, I think. Too far along to stop or delay at this point. The restaurant will be a huge hit when it first opens. All things new do well at Disney. And I agree. Because I think by the end of the year...
Hopefully they have a treatment or a vaccine or something. Yep. So we can get back to normal. Yep. And hi, Amy from EGC Magic TV. Welcome in.
Oh, look at that. Someone thinks I sound logical today.
Yeah.
I don't always get that compliment.
First for everything.
I gotta keep that one up there.
He likes that.
All right. So, number 6 on the list was the Bourne Stunttacular. Mm-hmm. So this was supposed to open at Universal Studios Spring 220. Mm-hmm. And this is to be determined as well. So this was the show that was replacing Terminator 2D, 3D, whatever it was. Yeah, I think it was Terminator 3D.
Yeah.
And I think, again, much like the Space 220 restaurant, this was near completion, was getting ready to open. I don't think it was too far along. So I can imagine, again, this one will be delayed until they get a better handle at the social distancing. Because, again, I think it's a big theater where everybody gets in and watches some kind of stunt show, much like Terminator 3D.
Yeah, but it's like a theater, so it's hard to...
Yeah, so why open that and having
right
to deal with that nightmare now?
Yeah, right now.
You know, they can go ahead and see how things go afterwards.
Yeah, and it hasn't been open for a while, so it's not like you have to go to it. And I don't think it was a big draw anyway when it was Terminator.
No, I mean I saw it like once every few years.
Yeah.
I think I took the kid. I wanted Ryan to see it. We might have seen it on our last trip because I wanted Ryan to see it because the last time he saw it he was little, and I knew it was going away.
I didn't like it.
I do, but I like
much loud smoke.
But I like Terminator.
Yeah,
so.
I know. I'll be back.
All right, so I mean I think we all agree that one's too far along. It's just a little delay.
Yeah, she meant to say loony, not logical. Charlie.
Oh, then I have to take that comment off. It was loony. All right, so I don't know how many people go to SeaWorld. SeaWorld's one of those controversial parks because of blackfish.
Yeah.
And with the whole treatment of marine animals or the aquarium fishes. So I can understand some people don't go there. I get it. But they have also been building a lot more rides there. As I think they're trying to break with the tradition of
just like
how they operate.
Yeah.
So they had this roller coaster opening up called Icebreaker. And I know they were doing test runs on it. And it was scheduled to open in spring 2020. And they're saying that it's delayed until 2021.
Wasn't it almost done though?
I thought it was almost done.
Tim try to do a video?
I thought I saw it. Yeah, I thought I saw a couple of people have a hard hat tour, and that it was actually being tested to run. And this is one of the things that it's 4 different launches. It goes both backwards and forwards. There's a reverse launch into the steepest beyond vertical drop. And it's a 93-foot tall spike with a 100-degree angle. And actually, this one is confirmed because it was said in the latest SeaWorld earnings report that they were delaying this into next year. Okay. So again, that could be money related because I know that was pretty far along, and that's too bad because I was thinking about going to SeaWorld to try the new raft ride they have there in Icebreaker. Icebreaker was something that I thought we all could go on. I thought you would enjoy. Yeah.
There's a big drop.
No, it's not a big. It just swirls around up.
What's a
straight up
93-foot tall spike with that 100-degree?
It just 93 feet up in the air. It's just like going on Space Mountain. Trust
93
me.
feet. No, that's not. That's high.
No. Or no, Expedition Everest. It's no different.
That seems very high to me. Yeah.
Nothing that medicine can't.
Yeah. You slip me a Mickey.
Yeah.
I didn't go on that. I don't think so.
So Nerd Herders haven't done SeaWorld. And I can say we don't do it. We go every once in a while. If we have a free day and want something different, it's usually when we go. Griswold family says SeaWorld is one of our favorites, and I can understand. I always have fun, relaxing, just standing there going.
Yeah.
I love the shark encounter.
Yeah.
I do love some of the shows there because I like seeing animals. That's why I think I love the safari park.
Yeah.
I love the wild truck tour, all that stuff. So Danny also says that SeaWorld is big on conservation now.
Conservation.
Yeah. Melissa goes, she'd like Terminator too.
Yeah.
So I can see it that if you like the movie, especially.
Yeah.
And then she also says, I think she's referring to Icebreaker, that's not a ride for her.
Yeah.
Johnson goes, fall launches, West Coast rides, roller coasters in Six Flags California has that this year opening. Yeah. And I think a lot of Six Flags have coasters like this, and they always seem like they're building something new. So I'm sure they're going to still open it up. And Charlie goes like this. And Charlie is right. The ride's just like Dumbo.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't stare, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Come on.
Yeah, and you told me to go on this ride at Busch Gardens, and I did swear a lot.
Yeah, so I took her on Cheetah Hut, and I told her it was just like Big Thunder Mountain. It was like Big Thunder Mountain. And was you sitting next to me? Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
And I think I had the GoPro on, and she
Yep.
was constantly throwing the F-bomb at me. But the funny thing is, she went back on it with us again at nighttime.
Yeah.
Your excuse was, well, if I'm not seeing where I'm going.
Maybe it's all right.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun, but kind of scary at the same time.
All right, so let's move on. So now they got Legoland New York. What is this?
Oh, that's New York.
There was a Legoland opening in New York?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
But it's not now. Until next summer.
Yep. All right. This one's at DCA, so that's Disney California Adventure. And this is I think this is you can kind of cut this off, but I think this is the Spider-Man ride. And that was supposed to open July 18th, and they had that moved to delayed until later this year. So I think that makes sense. Now here's the other one. The Tron Light Cycle Power Run.
No, I don't care. See that.
So they had this scheduled for 2021, which is for the 50th, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the plan to open this up for the 50th. However, they're saying here that they think this is delayed into 2022.
I don't know if that's true.
So they have here that Disney was preparing to get this attraction ready for 2021, but there's independent reports indicating that several cranes have been taken down, and reports that this project has been delayed into 2022.
That's a long time.
I'm not sure I buy that one.
Yeah.
I could see it delayed by a few months, but Disney,
years?
but Disney could, I mean, they're working on the 50th anniversary celebration.
Right.
This is one of the highlights, in my opinion, for Magic Kingdom. That I think they're going to find a way to try to get this done in time for that.
They might have just took the cranes down because they were just going to sit there for a while.
They could have taken it down to avoid bad weather.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't want those high cranes during hurricane season.
And they could have took it down for liability reasons.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know.
Yeah. So we're not going to believe that one.
That one I just don't believe. I think there's that one's too far along.
Yeah, that's way too far out. But who knows, right?
Yes. All right. So the next one we have here. Wow, I'm really out of whack here. We're gonna go with the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. So this was the new roller coaster that was going in where Universe of Energy was.
Hi, Lauren. Welcome in.
Stupid Judy. So this had an opening date of 2021. Again, another attraction that I think was trying to be open in time for the 50th. And I believe it is pretty far along. But now they have here into 2022.
That's another.
And they don't give a good reason why. So again, I don't believe this one.
Yeah.
And this is why I don't. I mean, I'll read this stuff from these people, but these people don't really know, and they don't. A lot of times they're just guessing, and I don't know why they're coming up with that. But if it's that far along, I could see Disney picking this up late summer if they see things starting to rebound, and just go from there. Hi, Pinball Princess Jillian. Thanks for joining. So I think that's another one that I really do not believe. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know.
It seems too
I'm sure
far-fetched.
it's delayed a little bit, but I don't think 2 years. That's, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, would you guys agree?
Unless they have to stop everything because they're got no money. I'm sure they'll.
I think it will eventually pick up.
Yeah.
It's too far along. If they didn't start it, then I think that's a different story.
Hey, we've been keeping them afloat by buying from Shop Disney, so.
What about the permanent festival center? So I think this is in the middle after you get past Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, that's what they took down Innovations for, right?
Yeah. So they have this delayed indefinitely, possibly canceled. And this was supposed to be a beautiful 3-level structure featuring a plaza level, a middle expo level, and a park that sits in the sky on the top level. And I think they would I always thought they would have firework parties here as well.
Yeah, like in a dessert party or something.
So I think this one's a little trickier. I'm not sure if it's... Yeah, because they haven't... I know they tore things down.
And then it's all blocked off, so it's going to be like that for... They have to do something.
Well, that's the thing, is maybe they don't do that, but they could do something else.
Yeah, something that's cheaper, maybe.
I mean, who knows? Or may just make it, put a big grass field there. I mean...
Picnics for everyone.
And Lauren, before we move on, Lauren goes out. She would gladly be one of the team members to try it out before they open to the park. There you go.
So let us know all about it when you... how it was.
And I'm sure they're going to...
They let you...
try to keep guests safe here.
Yep.
Right. So I'm not sure.
Lauren works at Universal, so everyone, they don't know.
I'm not sure. That's a tough one on the festival center.
Yeah.
We already know the Epic Universe has been delayed for a couple of years, to 2024 at least. I mean, that is something Universal said in their last call to investors.
Yeah, but they didn't even.
And that one I'm really sad about, because I wanted to see Nintendo World.
Mm-hmm.
I had hopes for either a Lord of the Rings park or Game of Thrones. I mean, I know those last two are wishful thinking on my part, but here's I get two other ones that I want to bring up. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, which was supposed to open up this summer.
Right.
And I think that was another one. I think the last I saw that was very close to being done. I know when we were there in December, it looked like they were finishing up a lot of the outside.
Yeah.
So we know that one's very close.
Yeah, but what'd they say?
Where
is it?
Well, with you having the pages out of order, it makes it hard. So what do you think? I think it's delayed. How far do you think it's delayed? What? Nope. Just you talk while I look.
I don't know. I maybe delayed a little bit because they had to shut down all construction, but hopefully not too long.
All right. So
find it.
This site says delayed into 2021.
Nah, I don't think so. Well, I mean, I don't know. Hey, Berga. With everything, how you doing?
I am not sure, because you even admit here that the area around the ride, like the crepe restaurant and all that, is way far along. It's wide open, and the ride is just about finished.
Yeah, so why would they delay it for that long.
And they're thinking is Disney's looking to write out 2020 with no new attractions because they need to limit park capacity anyway.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
You just had a burger.
Hello, Burger. Thank you for joining.
A burger with everything but a burger.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
That's all our...
you didn't even get to see the other.
There's more, but...
yeah. But Remy's got it.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that area is going to expand it.
Yeah.
And that gives you another attraction at Epcot. Right. Granted, they could do the virtual or however they're going to social distant guests for the attraction. They can do. That's one more attraction at their disposal to spread people out more.
Yeah.
Right? Because they already got a lot of things shut down. I think definitely for Epcot, they need to do more of that. That I could possibly see in this one open up sooner rather than later. I think it's that far along, especially for the type of ride it is. I'm not sure it needs to go through that much testing. I mean, I could be wrong.
Right.
And even Nerd Heard to see it goes, Remy should be done by August.
Yeah, so we all go. That was our plan.
Yeah, and if and he's just being hopeful, and I'm hoping because we're going to be there in August too. And Lauren goes, yeah, she thought Remy was almost done, and I thought so too. I mean, it looked close to being done as well. We were there in December, and I could see them finishing the walkway. I mean, a lot of stuff looked done when we saw it from the Skyliner. Yeah. So this is weird. And Berger goes, I can't wait for Ratatouille. I agree. Wasn't almost done. Yeah, I mean. Yeah.
So this is a site that this is not official Disney. So we're just talking about it, what their opinions are, and just.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not agreeing with a lot of them because if you're that far along, I think you might as well just try to open it up.
This is not a Disney official. So.
And the last thing I want to bring up is Harmonious. So I think this is the show that, going to replace Epcot Forever, which replaced Illuminations. And on here, it looked like the date was spring 2020. And I know, again, this was pretty far along, and I think this was close to being done and ready to go.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think it was really close. And they just say TBD. What do you guys think? Would you guys be upset if they brought Epcot Forever back for a little while? Actually, they may not have any fireworks.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this. Although I feel like they could have fireworks at Epcot because I don't know how they would do it, but you could spread out more. You have the whole lagoon. They could spread people out and show that. And personally, I wouldn't mind to see Epcot Forever again because we only get to see it that one time in December.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, we like the music.
Yeah, I mean, I actually found all the music that they played in the show and made a playlist from it.
Yeah. Baby Yoda says Ratatouille would be done soon. If he had anything to do with it,
it'd already be done. And Berger says, I like Epcot Forever. Yeah, I mean, Epcot Forever is one, for me, it's one of those shows. I never got to see the original Epcot. I wish I did. Mm-hmm. I've only seen videos.
I don't remember.
And that looks like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And Epcot Forever just takes me, in my mind, I start visualizing what Epcot used to be.
Yeah.
And what it could be. New. The new envisioned Epcot.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like to be able to envision that in my head.
I enjoyed it. But like Lauren said, it's a placeholder till they do the other thing. But they could keep doing that for a little bit until...
Yeah.
Because maybe that's more expensive. The Harmonious might be more expensive to shoot up all those fireworks that display. Could be more money than Epcot Forever. So maybe they'll keep Epcot Forever until things get back to normal and then maybe switch over.
And like the Disney Nerd said, they never got to see Epcot Forever. For them, they would rather, if they got a chance to be able to see it, they'd be okay with that. Now, one thing from the Universal policies that I did not see is I don't see anything about the nighttime shows like fireworks. I do know they have some kind of It's not the Cinematic Spectacular, and I don't know why I can't remember the name of that nighttime show at Universal Studios. They also have the projection show at Hogwarts. There's no mention if they're gonna still have that or not. So I'm really interested in knowing that. I'm kind of, in a way, hoping they do. Cinematic celebration.
There we go.
Yeah. Thank you, Berger. I should know that. We saw the opening, right?
Yeah.
We were there for when the show. I think we were there for the soft opening for the Paso the preview. Why? Yeah. But anyway, I wonder what they're gonna do with that. Because one of the things we've been talking about is we have reservations at Cali Grill, and we love eating there. But do we? If they're not gonna have Happily Ever After, do we keep that reservation or do we try something new? And we're kind of leaning towards maybe because we've eaten there tons of times, that maybe we just try something different instead of there. Because one of the lures of eating there is be able to see the fireworks from the rooftop. Now, granted, as DVC, we could always see them at Bay Lake Tower, but still, I don't know. That's a tough one. So that's one that I would like to know. And Lauren, and I brought this up earlier. So, she wonders every day, when will we hear about Halloween Horror Nights? Mm-hmm. Now, granted, we don't get to go to Halloween Horror Nights. I wish we could.
I don't
but
like the too scary stuff.
Yeah, you stay home. I'll take the kids.
Okay.
But with our oldest being in college and the youngest just entering high school, I can't make that. I can't make it work. I wish we could, and they would kill us if we tried to go on vacation without them.
Yeah.
Right now, right?
Yeah. I think a house would burn down if we left them home
or
alone.
Ronnie would starve to death.
Yeah, probably.
One or the other. So I still think there's a lot of questions, but I think June 5th's right around the corner, and I think we're gonna start getting info of how the theme parks are gonna open up. What do you guys think in the chat? Are you excited about the parks opening up? I mean, because there's a lot of them. I know we didn't hear about SeaWorld or Disney World, but I think those are not going to be too far behind. I think Disney it'll be in June. Mm-hmm. I'm convinced of that now.
Yeah. What, open it up June?
Oh yeah. I don't think it's going to be July now. I think they're going to try to be open in some capacity by July 4th. Berger, they did mention usually have busy crowds or Halloween Horror Nights at the task force call today, so it's at least on their radar. Oh, okay. So maybe they're working on a plan to try. Maybe that might be a hard ticket now. I mean, right? That could just be like a whole different board game, and maybe the houses and the entertainment they have there will be different to try to practice social distancing. Remember, my sister is not a big fan of horror stuff, but she went last year and had a blast. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was telling you. Some of the houses that are real scary, you don't need to go to. Yeah. But we've seen some of the walkthroughs.
Yeah.
And
I like Stranger Things.
And you like Stranger Things. The Ghostbusters house looked awesome from what I could see. I mean, I remember watching Lauren's video on that. I mean, there's a couple of places I really think you would enjoy it. That's just me. And Lauren goes, I'm totally okay with less people in the parks. And and that's the one thing that makes me think that regardless if you're wearing a mask or not, as long as you're always washing your hands using hand sanitizer, with less people in the park, it's less of a chance to having people side by side with you. I'm more nervous because we usually go down Christmas week. I'm more nervous about that week than I am about the summertime.
Yeah.
But again, that's a long way off. I can't worry about that right now. Right. And Charlie and Stacy go, yep, open them up. I can't agree. I'm tired of being home, not having anything going out, having anything to do.
Well, they're slowly opening up stuff in Massachusetts now, so I still have to wait like a month to get a haircut. But
yeah, I mean, she's still giving me little trims here.
I need my hair done. I used to do it myself, but I've been going to hairdressers.
So I don't know what this means about being.
Oh, maybe the house scared them.
Oh, okay.
Scared them.
And we gotta wrap up here.
Yeah.
But Lauren goes, they always have one or two houses that aren't super scary, like Ghostbusters last year. So there's something for everyone. And you might get scared while you're walking through the streets with the clowns. I know you don't like clowns or the chainsaws, but we can deal with that, Meredith. And Charlie wants to know, how do you handle the crowds at Christmas week? So personally, I don't mind the crowds, but Meredith, you have anxiety issues, so it's a tough one for her. What I try to do is I try to go to the park that's going to be least crowded on certain days. So I know Christmas Eve, I always go to Magic Kingdom.
But we leave
I love
early.
it, but I'll go early in the morning and try to leave by lunchtime and just have a dinner at a resort or something and just tour the resorts. So that gets her out of most of the crowds there. Christmas Day, last year we went to Hollywood Studios. Typically we go to Epcot. But I find for Meredith, those parks are less crowded and she can at least feel like she can breathe and move around.
Yeah,
so that's good.
Magic Kingdom, no.
And New Year's Eve's the tricky one. This is the one where I know you have almost gotten into fights. You have had panic attacks. So the 30th we'll go to Magic Kingdom because I can at least see the fireworks there. It's been great that they do it at 6 or 6:30 because the crowds are not as bad. And I think you can stand it for a little while. If I can find a good enough spot where she can breathe and she can feel like she can escape. And then we usually see him again from we've been scheduling reservations at the Polynesian at a restaurant there. So that way we can see him at beachside as well. And then New Year's Eve, we've been typically going to Epcot, which you don't like, right? And that's where you've almost gotten into fights.
Well, let me explain this. Because for fireworks, you have to get in a spot like 4 hours in advance.
Yeah, but these people for New Year's Eve are getting their spots at like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, which is crazy to me.
It's getting ridiculous because the first time we went, we were near Italy. We had a little spot, and we were sitting down there with the kids for 4 hours, and it was cold. It wasn't warm, and people like to come the last minute. And there's all these families. We're all stuck in this, right next to each other, and these people come in and push each. I'm standing next to this lady, but and then this lady pushes herself in because I just bent down to put a blanket on Ronnie, and she started pushing in. And I'm like, excuse me, you're not going to push in and you're stepping on the kid on the ground here. I'm like, you're not going to come in here last minute, 5 minutes before the fireworks and push people around. Yeah. I mean, that's just rude. I mean, I'm very low key, but when something like that, you've been there 4 hours, watch out because I'm going to.
And I'll tell you, the husband of the other lady's like looking at me, like kind of motioning for me to step in. I looked at him and I shook my head and I backed away. I'm like, I am not getting in front of a mama trying to defend her kids.
Yeah.
A mama bear trying to. I might be the dad, but I want to live too. I am not getting in the middle of that.
Yeah, but that's just rude for people to stand there for 4 hours and they push their way in, and then I'm all like, no.
But what we had done,
move along.
but last year we did Hollywood Studios, and I forgot why. There was a reason why I switched to Hollywood Studios. Because I didn't think everybody was going to go to that park, because that's when we get on Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah, you want to go on Rise of the Resistance.
But we got a boarding pass. We entered the park at like 11, and we got a boarding pass.
Right.
So I had a feeling that wasn't going to be too crowded, and you absolutely loved that. That worked out really well for you. So that's how we navigate. And then the parks tend to stay open till around midnight. At least Magic Kingdom does, and after the fireworks, we stick around for an hour or two. To try to let the boats and the monorails and all that subside.
Yeah. Not on New Year's Eve.
And we walk a lot. So I don't mind walking different places. We probably walk more and stuff, but I think it's doable. I mean, we do get a lot done.
Yeah.
You just have to have a lot of patience, is what I learned.
But I don't think if they still have this limited capacity, they might not they'll limit it more. Because a lot of people, I don't know why, like locals, like I can see annual pass holders and stuff, but locals buy a 1-day ticket on Christmas. That's their Christmas gift, and they all go on that day. It's like, buy it for them and go later or earlier. Why are you going on Christmas?
Yeah.
Because if I lived there, I wouldn't be going there on Christmas. I would go there early December when you still can enjoy everything and it's not super crowded.
Yep. So we got to wrap up here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm talking
So,
too much.
so Burr, I just want to wrap up this chat here. So Burr goes, she loves going to MK close to Christmas, free Christmas party activities.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah.
I think that's the number one reason why I think going to Christmas during that week. I like the Christmas parties. I try to go to them, but I'm paying for 4 tickets. And it's over $100.
Yeah.
That's almost $500 I'm dropping for a party. Don't mind doing it once, but if I can see some of it for free, then I can. Makes it easy to plan what we can do at the Christmas parties.
Yep.
And then Amy goes that in Pittsburgh, where she is, things opened up, but not hair places. I went to Ohio, which I live close to the border, and got my hair cut. Yep. And unfortunately, I go to Rhode Island to get my hair cut. I don't get my hair cut locally. That's a whole different story.
Yeah.
But they're actually opening later.
But we can just buzz here.
Yeah. All right. So, do you want to shout out some channels?
Shout out some channels.
Yep.
Do we have a list now?
You should know it by heart.
Yeah, I know. Should know how. Okay, let me see. All right.
Thank you, Lawrence. Have a great night. Thank you for stopping by.
Make sure you guys check out Lauren Travel's channel.
Yep. And subscribe to her channel. I know she was trying. There was a new goal she had to try to get to. So any help we can provide for her, I'd appreciate it.
All right, so on Monday nights, that's Steve's World at 8 o'clock. Tuesdays.
And you get to isn't all right. Go ahead.
Nope, I got it. It's in my head. On Tuesdays, 7:30 is More Sunshine, Please.
And help him out.
Yeah.
He's trying to increase his watch time so he can get to monetization. And I know he's got a little way to go, but every little bit helps. And I know AJC Magic, so Amy from AJC Magic, is also needing watch hours. So any bit that you guys can do, even if it's 5-10 minutes, every little bit helps.
Right. Okay. What else? Okay. 8 o'clock is Mouse
Good night,
Talk.
Burger. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks. Check out Burger with everything too.
Yep.
Mouse Talk is on at 8 o'clock.
With the Sanity.
With the Sanity. And they also do a 6 o'clock show every night until Disney opens about, they pick a ride to talk about and rate. And then Tuesday, VIP Project I think is on at 9 at, on Tuesdays. Wednesday is Disney Nerd Herders at 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock is D&G Explorers. 9 o'clock is This and That Crew.
Yep.
And I think Monarch Moments is also at 9 o'clock.
Yep. Thursdays is us at 9.
Yep.
Fridays, I think 4:30 is Rob Fuzz. And then I think Resort TV1 has still been going live at 6. You have Carlos from the Disney World Freak. He just changed the schedule, so I think it's 4 p.m. on Tuesdays and 9 a.m. on Saturdays, and they're 2 different shows. And the Disney Nerd Herders are doing their lazy Sunday mornings again at 11. Checking them out this week. I know we are a special guest of theirs, along with Amy from AJC Magic. We're going to be talking. Last week we talked about Universal Studios and talking about their attractions and how they're comparing them to Disney. Yeah, some of them have similar. And just trying to talk about what makes Universal great.
Mm-hmm.
This week we're going to talk about Islands of Adventure.
Yep.
And just going through that, I think it's a fun time. And also check out the Live Place.
Yep.
It's liveplace.com. That's where they have a lot of live shows. They have a schedule of it. It's like a TV guide. So you may find a lot other channels. I mean, I know we only can watch so many, but there's a lot more on there. Yeah. I know, like, we watched Griswold Family. I know they're on. Like, I know I was watching them at 11 o'clock yesterday. So check them out. So check out the liveplace.com. It has all that. And check out the Dreamer's Empire with Dean. He runs the Live Place and he has his own show. And one last thing is the Nerd Herders are 240 hours away from being monetized. So I think every little bit that we can help them out as well, we should try to go ahead and do that.
Yep. Put on their playlist overnight and
Yeah.
let it ride.
All right, everyone. Sorry we went a little bit over, but we truly appreciate you coming aboard. I had a lot of fun talking about this tonight. Hopefully you did, and it gives you something to think about, especially if you have trips planned.
And next week we'll talk about the restaurants.
Yep, you can help us plan our
restaurants for
Christmas dining reservations.
And we'll just talk about food, which is always a fun subject.
Yep. Okay, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Yep. Have a good
Have
night.
a good night.
All right. Bye.
Bye.